Peace and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Goddess Akasha, and today I want to discuss with you what Yonism is. Okay, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment this video. If you're not new here, welcome back. It has been a minute, but I'm glad to see you back. But let's get into it. So, what is Yonism? This can be answered in many different ways, okay? So I'm actually going to be doing a series just breaking down the basics and fundamentals of what this spiritual path is all about. There are 4,300 religions in the world today, with the top two being Christianity and Islam. 30.74% of the world's population are Christians. 24.9% of the world's population believe in Islam. This means that a majority of the world believes in a higher power. What creates that division, however, is pure perception of what that higher power is. What I find the most interesting is how people envision that higher power to be a father figure. And I find that baffling because the one thing that everyone on this planet can agree on, no matter what race, creed, background, culture, is that all life stems from the womb, okay? Whether it be people, animals, even plant life, right? Even the seeds of a plant germinates within the womb of the earth, right? The dark, moist earth, right? It's a different name, of course, but the process is still the same. This is the truth of Yonism. Yonism is the truth that all life begins in the womb, okay? The source, the creatrix of all life, that would make her a mother figure. I think what differs Yonism from other religious belief systems is that Yonism is not a belief system, right? It's an inherent knowing. You know what I'm saying? So it's much like when a baby comes out of the womb, right? The baby knows its mother. Right? It knows nothing else. It doesn't know the difference between man, woman. It doesn't know up or down, left or right or wrong, right? It has no concept of anything. But the one thing that a newborn baby knows is the touch of its mother. So as soon as you place the child in the mother's arms, skin to skin, which is why that's so important, it calms the child. Race, bias, prejudice, right from wrong. All of these things are concepts that are taught. But the knowing of the mother is innate. It's natural. It's spiritual. It's the one thing that goes beyond this physical realm. As we grow, we are conditioned to believe. But when we're born with an intuitive knowing, right? But that conditioning, as we are growing, it overshadows that intuitive knowing that we were born with. And we are taught to ignore it. But Yonism is the reclamation of divine truth. Okay, it is a return to the understanding that Mother is our God, that all life emerges from the watery depths of possibility. Yonism, in every sense of the word, is an adherence to a way of life that returns us to the nurturing path of the mother. To understand what Yonism really is, we have to break it down to its root words, right? So Yoni, that is a word that describes the female genitalia, so the vagina as well as the uterus. The yoni or the vagina is seen as a symbol of source of all creation, the creation point, right? But also it is seen as a symbol of pleasure, but also a pathway or a portal to the divine reality from which all of this comes from. You may have heard people say that heaven is in between the legs of a black woman. And this is what they're talking about. They're talking about the portal. They're talking about the dark blackness of possibility of where creation happens. And this is the space where souls are able to come through and materialize into this realm. So the yoni or the vagina is honored as a sacred place for prayer, reverence, and sexual pleasure. This means that women are held sacred. They are the portal holders. Okay, this means that they have the direct link to the divine reality. Okay, and it comes with a divine responsibility as creators in this realm, right? But this is the reason why we see women as living goddesses and the black woman as like the physical god walking this planet. Okay, but I can go into this in another video, like go deeper into it as to why. But for now, I want to focus on the yoni symbol, okay, and actually what it means. So the symbol is actually a combination of quite a few symbols that you might recognize if you have any sort of background knowledge, or if you've been on your spiritual journey for a while, you may recognize some, okay? So you see the spiral, right? The spiral has been used for centuries in many different cultures, in many different occult systems to represent spiritual development. The spiral or vortex being the divine movement of reality. We see it in space, on Earth, in our DNA. It's the blueprint to what we call life. Next is the Vesica Pisces, okay? Or you can see it as a double pointed oval, right? Another shape that naturally forms in nature. So when two circles come together, if you've been in school before, I'm sure you have seen a Venn diagram. This is when they place two circles together to actually do a analysis of a particular topic or subject, and they put the differences of the two subjects in the left and right side, and in the middle, the intersecting of the circles is actually where we list the similarities, right? That shape right there is called a Vesica Pisces. Now, if you look at it, it actually is the shape of the yoni or the vagina. If you are looking at the labia, right? It is a double pointed oval. This is basically symbolizing the vagina or the portal to higher dimensions. Now, this is encompassed by an inverted triangle. So this inverted triangle has many meanings, but it represents the womb and the waters from which we all emerge, and the Trinity, which is inherent in all life. Altogether, the symbol represents the cosmological womb, right? And the enlightenment that we get from returning to the womb. So each symbol in its individual capacity represents a innate truth, right? Something that every human can decipher and understand and see and recognize, and all agree on what it means and all agree that it is truth. So also, one thing that this symbol does by placing all of these truths together is remind us that separation is an illusion, that we are all children of the Most High Goddess, the Supreme Creatrix. If we do away with our conditioning, we will actually thrive in truth and realize that we are one.